So this is going to be a slightly longer video than usual because I've been seeing these parallels everywhere. I was swimming in the sea today, and this is where it really kind of hit me. And when you're swimming in the sea, the best thing you can do is kind of relax and notice where the water is flowing around you. You know, it'll be largely coming in or going out the tide, and with each wave you'll get a slight pull and a slight push each time. And the best way to deal with it is to kind of float there and just allow your body to move with it and know where it is, and then you can gently nudge yourself one way or the other when you need to, or you can swim with it, or whatever. But if you try to fight it, if you try to force yourself to go in a certain direction, you'll very quickly get tired, and that's generally how people, when they're not careful in the sea, tend to get into trouble when they're not aware of which way the currents are in that area, and they try to fight it to swim back to shore. They get exhausted, and they sometimes can lose their life. And then thinking about martial arts, a lot of martial arts have this kind of idea around when somebody uses force against you, the direction of that force should be used to wrong foot them, or it should be misdirected so that the force doesn't go straight into you. If you try to block everything, or if you try to intercept that force every time, you'll again very quickly get tired. It's not very effective and it hurts. Whereas if you can feel very quickly, or know, or watch, or be aware of, all of this takes practice, but if you know which way something is coming from, then you will be able to misdirect, you'll be able to move, you'll be able to slightly nudge your body or their body out of the way, and it tends to be a common thing. Then recently there's been a movement in farming, something really diverse from the other two, but for years now we've been kind of forcing the land to produce food when we want, and only the plants that we want to grow. And it's come out that the soil only has something like 40 kind of crops left in some areas, or seasons left in some areas, and it's, we're basically just depleting it. And there's been this movement towards working with nature rather than against it, for planting crops or planting plants that entice natural predators of pests to come, planting cover crops to outcompete weeds, and using nitrogen fixing plants, for example, so that you don't have to apply so much nitrogen to the plant. So you're again noticing the rhythms of the larger world that you're in, and working with it rather than against it. So that's what I think meditation really gives us, this ability to apply that to our lives more generally. So if you can somehow see or feel the rhythms of the world around you, if you can notice your own rhythms and then see how you fit in with the world around you, then you'll be able to, just like when you're in the sea, or when a farmer is looking at the land, when you can see what it is that's happening, you can see the direction things are going in, and you can allow yourself to go that direction and then nudge it whatever way you want. And instead of constantly fighting against the flow of things, you can actually go with the flow of things. This isn't a new idea. Taoism is more or less based around this principle of going with the flow, of going with the Tao, the direction of things. And it's something that many ancient philosophies have talked about, and it's a really interesting idea. But I think the key to getting the more nuanced, or the more kind of subtle aspects of life noticeable to you, is this practice of silence, this practice of silent awareness and listening. And it just cultivates that fine-tuned awareness where you can see where things go. So that's where I think it leads. Obviously I'm nowhere near it yet, but it's where I feel like it's taking me. And I notice it more in the sea today, or in martial arts, or in reading around farming. It's so interesting that is how everything should work. So yeah, it's something to look into, and I'll continue doing it myself.